Hello again, everyone. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, I call it They Shook the Tree. Because on Monday, they shook the tree pretty hard, but by Friday, it was bad news is good news. And we're going to take a look at the Dow Industrials this weekend. We're going to look at what happened on Friday, look at the weekly charts, and then I want to do a quick comparison to the Dow Transports. We'll look at one of our indicators, the High Yield Bond Fund. And then we're going to take a look at Apple and see what is going on with Apple. All right, so I am on the daily view here. The Dow was up 248.74. So what do I mean by they shook the tree hard on Monday? Okay, here is an hourly view of the Dow Industrials. Right here is the close at the end of the week of the previous Friday. And remember, we had a half day on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. And we closed right here at 29,910.37. Well, here's the first hour of the day. Here's the second hour of the day in the low. And from close to low, they dropped 446 points in the first 2 hours of the day. 446 points, 2 hours of the day. And then they started to come back, and you were up by the end of the first hour of Tuesday. You were up on the day and higher than, the previous Friday. And then we started trending up, but it was volatile. There's no doubt. I mean, I remember this looks like the last hour of the day, but in reality, that was the last 30 minutes of the day on Thursday when I think it was Pfizer came out and said, whoops, we're only going to have half of what we thought we were going to have by the end of 2020. Because of supply chain problems. And the market went, whoops, dropped 200 points in less than 30 minutes. And then it just comes right back on Friday morning. And what was Friday morning? The jobs report. About 240,000 or so fewer jobs were created in the month of November than what was expected. And did that hurt the market? No, it just kept pushing and pretty much pushed all day long into the close. And it was up 248.74 at the close. So that's the picture on the daily. Here's the picture on the weekly. And it doesn't look like it really got much above the previous week, but it did. If we zoom in, you can see in here how it closed well above the previous high of the previous week and the trading range. Closing a new all-time high on a weekly basis and on a daily basis. And as a matter of fact, the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000 all closed at new all-time highs. So what is going on with the Elliott wave picture? My best take is that we are still in this fifth wave. We're talking about the fifth wave up since March of 2020. And that's going to complete, when we complete that fifth wave, we're going to complete the fifth intermediate wave from March of 2009. That's going to complete the cycle wave up from August of 1982 and a whole lot more. But right now, we're focused on just fleshing out these last final 5 waves in here. And I think this is what we're doing. I think we're still pushing a little bit higher in here in this third minute wave within this fifth minor wave. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. We get 5 waves in here, and actually this may be a little bit lower. Don't look at these, again, don't look at these as exact predictions. I'm not predicting it's going to be at this price by this time. This is directional. What we're doing is within this third wave right here, we're looking for 5 waves, 5 distinct waves up in here, and we don't have it yet. Okay, that's why I'm looking for this to continue pushing. Okay, that is the picture on the Elliott wave picture for the Dow Industrials. Now I want to take a quick look at something, comparing this to the Dow Transports. So here's the Dow Industrials weekly chart on the left, the Dow Transports weekly chart on the right. Look at the time frames. We're talking about, basically back, this is the January 2018 peak. And you can see when I highlight it here, it highlights it over here too. I've got it going on in both charts at the same time. The interesting thing, a lot of times we talk about the Dow theory, about the Dow Transports and the Dow Industrials staying in sync with each other. Well, look how right here, January 2018 into September of 2018, they were in sync. went to a slightly higher high. Had the big bad sell-off in the fall of 2018, and they were in sync. Then, as we continue to push higher in here, the Dow Industrials up here into April 2019, same thing with the transports, but here's where it started to differ. As we moved up into July of 2019, the Dow Industrials went to new all-time highs, but the transports didn't. So the transports continue to lag all the way up here into this January, February high. You can see how over here, this January, February high did not take out the all-time high in September 2018. And so they were out of sync. And then all of a sudden we get this big downdraft. So now we get this big downdraft. It looks like they're kind of in sync again, doing the same kind of move. And now we're pushing up. And now the transports finally push above to a new all-time high. When did that occur? That occurred right here in September. And the Dow did not take out its old all-time high yet, but then the transports continue to push higher, and then the Dow catches up and goes to a new all-time high. So right now, to me, it looks like these two are in sync, in that the Dow transports seem to be leading us higher in here. They're at new all-time highs. The Dow is at new all-time highs. But there is an interesting little development in the RSI in here and in the DI plus here on the directional indicator. We're getting a little bit of divergence showing up. Now that divergence may disappear if the Dow transports continue to push higher. We're not really seeing it very clearly over here on the Dow Industrials. So right now, I guess the whole point of what I'm looking at, yeah, we may see some developments. We may see some divergences show up. We need to be alert for that and be alert for differences where we start to get disparity between the two. But right now, the Dow Transports and the Dow Industrials seem to be in sync. Okay, let's take a look at let me go back to my home screen over here, and let's go back to the high yield bond fund, and I want to take a look at that. This is the picture I want to show. Okay, HYG continues to say risk on. Okay, this ETF either is telling you it's at risk on, in sync with the market, or it's risk off, and the market and participants are being risk averse, etc. But right now, they're not. They're being aggressive. They're continuing to push this higher. It was up 36 cents on Friday, but it's interesting that the November 9th high, which was when Pfizer had their big announcements on the vaccine, the high was 86.90. That's exactly where we hit on Friday, 86.90 for a high in here. Let's see if I can get, there we go, 86.90 for the high. So it's going to be interesting to see, do we push right up through this resistance on Monday and continue to push higher? That's the trend. That's the way it looks. Okay, let's take a look at Apple. Let me come on down. Okay, here's Apple. But before I get into the details on Apple, I just want to mention, if you'd like more of this kind of information on a regular basis, head over to joehenches.net and check out the website, check out the membership, and become an insider member. All right, let's take a look at Apple. This I last talked about on October 17th. If you want to go back and visit that video on YouTube, it was on October 17th. We talked about the fact that this looked like an ending, expanding diagonal pattern for wave 5 of intermediate wave 5, okay? And we're talking about intermediate wave 5 of primary wave 3. So then the expectation is, okay, we need to have a corrective wave 4, and we need to correct, you know, a good percentage of primary wave 3. Well, the way this started off then is this first intermediate wave A was a 3-wave move. Okay, so because it looked like a 3-wave move to me, that told me this was either going to be a flat or a triangle, but the way this was developing, it didn't seem to fit the triangle pattern. Okay, this didn't go back up far enough, and it actually morphed into a 5-wave move in here. So that told me something else was going on, but the interesting thing about this is that if this is a 3-wave and if it's a flat, I'm looking for a 3, and then a 5, bigger 5. And the flat should pull back very close to the beginning of wave A, right up in here. And yes, it can go beyond, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the mere fact that this wave A right here started off as a 5 wave told me that we got a zigzag going on for wave B. Okay, because wave B can be several different things actually. But right now this looks like a zigzag to me. And so therefore we got an A, 5 wave, 3 wave, and I'm looking for 5 waves to come up and complete wave C of intermediate wave B. So how high is wave B going to be? I'm going to take this off of semi-log as I zoom in because the scale doesn't need to be on semi-log when I zoom into this small of scale price range in here. So let's take a look at the ratio of B versus A in a flat. So it needs to retrace at least 90% of wave A. Well, right here is 88.7. Okay, so slightly above that would be 135. So 135 to up around 151 would be my target range for where wave B would end. Now, what's going to give us a clue that we're getting to the end of it? As we get the C wave developed in here, we're looking for 5 waves. And when we get that 5 waves complete, then we know, and it's going to be up here in this range, that we're going to know that's the end of it. And then we're going to come down in this bigger intermediate wave C. Okay, this wave C right here. And this will be 5 waves. So that's my expectation. That's what I'm looking for. That's the current picture. Right now, it looks like Apple wants to keep trying to stay, pushing higher. It's just been dogging it a little bit lately. We'll see if all of a sudden it starts to get ahead of steam and push up here into the 130s. All right, that's it for this video. Hope you found it helpful. If you did, give it the thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the little subscriber button. And again, if you'd like more of this kind of information, head over to joehenches.net. Check out the website and the membership. Everyone, have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll talk to you on the next video.